I enjoy math. How many people do you know would agree with this statement? Out of my friends, I think I can name 3, including myself. But many don't really care about whether you should enjoy math. Most care about if you need math. So I invited an adult to answer all the questions we need.
My name is Brutney's. I've been an adult for about 3 years now, and I haven't used hardly any math.
I think we learned a lot. So in conclusion, do we need math? No. Jokes aside, I really want people to see math in a better light. But in order to do that, we need to understand why many students hate it.
My name's TJ Hall, and I go to Tulsa School of Arts and Sciences. Throughout all the years I've been in school, I've always hated math. I've never been good at it. I don't think I've ever had that good teacher who I clicked with, who helped me click with math. It's kind of always just been, I've always struggled. It's the one class I've always struggled in. I don't see, of course in college I have to take a college algebra, but I don't see myself doing anything with math in the future past college. I might, simple math, critical thinking stuff, but not algebra. I don't think I'm ever gonna have to do square roots or x equals this and all that stuff. That's irrelevant to my life. I think the fact that math is such a strong core class through your whole education is ridiculous. I get we do need to learn some of it. It does help with critical thinking. Learning algebra, it's not terrible to learn. It really, it can help you get smarter. But to make that such a prominent core class is ridiculous. I think a financial class should be above math. You know what I mean? I think an art class should be above math. I feel like art teaches you almost more about yourself and about the world. It teaches you how to be somebody and creative than math is gonna do. Math, I felt like it's always dragged me down it's always made me feel like I'm not good enough. But then I go to art class and I go to photography class and I kill it in there. But I still don't feel like I'm up with everybody else who's getting B's and A's in math.
I think that TJ has some really good points. Why don't we learn more about the financial aspects of life and money management? But there are reasons why we don't learn those.
Find the second derivative at the point 1, 2. What do I do?
My name is Kyler Phillips. I am a math teacher at Edison High School. I teach pre-calculus and calculus. I think part of it is, so I took a financial literacy class whenever I was in high school. And it's not that my teacher was bad, it's that it was one of those things that I think it wasn't relevant to me at that moment. And especially, I think a lot of students here do the financial literacy component whenever they're freshmen in high school or maybe sophomores in high school. And I think that might be what I was whenever I took it. And I wasn't going to be buying a house anytime soon, especially it didn't seem soon to me at that moment.
Financial literacy is important. There is no argument to that. But I do think that what we learn in algebra and calculus helps us in more ways than we can imagine.
Given both, check both. If you're
My name is Carter Scarborough, and I teach AP Statistics, Algebra 2, and on-level statistics at Edison High School. I think the biggest thing that we're trying to teach students in math classes are problem solving and critical thinking skills. And that gets left behind in a lot of teachers' classes, including my own sometimes when I'm trying to teach students how to do well on the SAT or the ACT. But the skills that I use the most in my everyday life factor on a regular basis. But being able to look at how something has been done in an example or research something online and then repeat it, that's a skill we learn in math classes. I think a good math student is someone who is willing to work and to explain their ideas on paper or if they're presenting it, however it may be, who doesn't just jump from one idea to the next, because you never are in isolation in life. You're always having to communicate with people. That's the biggest idea, being able to communicate where you got your ideas. It's hard to imagine the time that you're going to spend on something if you can't imagine using it soon in your future. And I wish we could move away from that. I wish we could move to a math mindset where it's not necessarily about what you're learning, but how you learn it, and thinking of learning as a skill. I think all the things that we learn are still worthwhile, but focusing more on being able to learn, being able to pick up on something new, even if it's difficult. If students could do that, I think they would get a lot more, they would feel more like they're getting more out of their time. So, yeah.
Now that we've learned why math is important, how can we get better at it?
It takes a decision to try and to work. It takes a decision to ask questions whenever you don't understand. I know that homework is not fun, but it's practice. That's how you study for math. Go back over your notes, read through the chapter. It takes work, is all it is.
I'd like to say in my class, if a student doesn't succeed, it's their fault, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I obviously think that students who are more like me probably learn better from me. Students who would rather sketch while they're doing their notes than take their notes probably have a harder time with the way that I teach, because I was never like that. But I think that there's always a responsibility on both parts. It should be a working relationship. I would never blame the students 100% because I could always do a better job teaching. But I definitely think that the students have a responsibility there.
I think as students, we need to appreciate math more. But more importantly, we need to appreciate what our teachers do. As boring and unfun as math is, they try so hard to make it palatable. We need to make sure that we're not wasting their time and effort.